Okay, going on the road against Mississippi State, a very talented football team. They got a new coach and new staff. I know they're getting used to each other each week. You know, if you look at them offensively, they have 9 starters back. I think it really starts with their quarterback. He's 144 yards away from being the SEC's all-time leading rusher for a quarterback. I think that really says it all. It puts a lot of pressure on defenses. You know, he's a dual-threat guy. They got some good running backs and a very solid offensive line with some receivers. Defensively, they have 8 starters back. Of course, we got a chance to see them in person last year. Very impressed with their front 7. Safeties are very aggressive. Right now, they're 8th in points allowed in the country, and they're 11th in total defense. So, offensively, you know, they've got a lot of scary weapons defensively. They're very good, you know, as a total defense. So, overall, playing a very good team. It's a tough place to play. You know, they have the cowbells and all that, and that's always a factor. You know, when you go there, as far as the being loud, it's a different kind of loud. You know, it's not just you know, human voices and everything. That's really unique and different that you got to prepare for. A couple updates just from us. You know, Whitlow, Jack Driscoll, and Tega both went down with injuries Saturday and didn't return. I'll know more today, you know, after practice about their status. I do know all 3 are gonna try their best to play and be a part, but we'll know more about that after practice. With that being said, Bailey Sharp, you know, Calvin Ashley, Austin Troxel be ready to go at the tackle position, and you know, all those guys we have confidence in and have gotten a lot of reps and practice and scrimmages and everything that goes with that. And then, of course, tailback wise, Cam Martin, Shivers, Malik Miller, and Asa Martin. If Whitlow can't go, we'll all be a part and be a factor. But like I said, we're happy to be 4-1. You know, we're one really call away from being 5-0. So I think overall we're in a good spot. This will be our first road game, so to speak. You know, that first game was really a neutral site. So you know, there's nothing like the SEC going on the road with 70 of your guys. I know our guys are looking forward to it. In a tough place to play, but we'll be ready. Questions?
As far as Cam Martin goes, how many carries would you max out with him? Would you just go into it with one guy and say we're going to run?
No, I mean, we'll go into it with you know, all those guys in mind. Obviously, Cam Martin will be the first guy out there, and we got a lot of confidence in him. If you saw him last week, you know, he ran with a passion and with a will, especially when the game was on the line, and protected the football. So we were very impressed with his performance last week.
How much does the potential of Bowie's status affect those other younger guys in that backfield?
I don't think it really affects the other guys. I mean, all of them been getting quality practice reps, most of them with the ones. So, you know, obviously he's got off to a good start, and you can see him improving each time he goes out there. But, you know, we have confidence in those other guys as well.
Gus, it seems like you made the change of center, and it may not be related, but has coincided with the issues protecting the quarterback.
Yeah.
Is there any thought about going back on that?
No, I don't. Right now, I mean, Nick's going to be our center again. I think more than anything is the cadence. You know, we had 4 false starts, which is obviously unacceptable, but you know, that's what you worry and are concerned about more than anything, especially going on the road. So we're going to have to do a really good job with the crowd noise and everything as far as our preparation. But, you know, anytime you have a new center, there's going to be a few growing pains. But one thing I'll tell you about Nick is, you know, he's tried to be very physical. And, you know, so I really think you'll see him improve.
When you guys are going through an offensive kind of lull like you've been doing, the numbers aren't quite there. You're an offensive guy, you've been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
It's tough to kind of not get too involved with Chip and start kind of telling him what to do.
No, I mean, we're obviously we're a work in progress. We know that, and I think it's more of anything identifying, you know, your strengths, identifying your weaknesses, you know, playing to your strengths, trying to stay away from your weaknesses. And you know, there's been a few lineup changes up front that sometimes, you know, it slows down the progress as far as that goes. But you know, like I said a few weeks ago, I still think we're going to be a good offense, and but we need to play well, this Saturday.
But as far as overseeing Chip, I mean, because this is your operation at the end
Yeah.
of the day, and you know about offense.
Right.
You
Well, first of all, I got a lot of confidence in Chip, and we're doing the same thing we did last year when we really got rolling. So it's just a matter of us getting a rhythm. It's really a matter of us being a little more consistent, run the football, and then the shots. When we have shots, you've seen this before. We're at our best when we have explosive plays and getting a rhythm. So, no, we're still going about our business like we did last year, and I've got a lot of confidence in Chip.
You've talked about the importance of being able to run the ball. 5 games into the season, how much do you think that can improve?
Well, it's got to improve. I mean, how much improves, that's yet to be seen, but we can improve. There's no doubt, and we got to manufacture rushing yards. And, I think once we get to a point where we're consistent with the lineup and the backs get a little more experience, I think you'll see that grow.
For you, is this offensive system the system, and there's not much movement for changes, whether it's quick slants, doing things to help out your offense?
Yeah. Well, I think any time that, you're struggling a little bit, I mean, you need to do whatever you can to manufacture yards, rushing yards, passing yards, points. And so that's definitely, the plan.
Gus, last week your punter had a couple nice punts dropped and pinned them deep.
Yeah.
With the Honors struggling a little bit, does that make you take a look?
Yeah, and I don't know if Honors is struggling a little bit. I know we're asking him to kick a lot of 50-yard plus field goals, and so I know, if you're a young guy, obviously you have a few more shorter ones, and then when those long ones come around every now and then, it's not as big a deal. But we've been asking a whole lot of him, so I think he's an excellent kicker. I think you'll see that the rest of the season, him being consistent. We just got to put him in positions to be a little more successful. And then, the thing about it, we're learning about Sipos is he's a weapon down in the ball inside the 10. So strategically, yeah, you could see a little bit, of a change. I mean, I think more than anything, after 5 games, you know what your strengths are. And as a coach, you got to play to your strengths. And that's not just offensively, that's as a team. And we've got good information on our team. And so I think you'll see us play to our strengths a little bit better than we've had.
Your true freshman class this year is more productive probably than anyone that you've had so far. When was the kind of point that you realized that both on offense and
Yeah.
you got a lot of young guys who are going to be able to contribute?
Yeah, really it was after we got to practice in fall camp. That's when we knew that we had some very, very talented guys that could help. I mean, and then when you have that, the most successful freshman class, there's going to be some growing pains too. And but those guys have 5 games under their belt, and you can see them each week just be more and more consistent with everything. And those guys are a very talented group.
Well, what would you say are the main differences under the new leadership at Mississippi State?
The main differences, they still want to run their quarterback. I mean, that's really, which I think that's probably pretty wise, being that close to being the leading rusher all time in the history of our league. There's been some real good quarterbacks, come through that could run it pretty good. Defensively, I think it's similar. I mean, they got players and they let them play, and so it's really hard to tell. Maybe I can answer that question a little bit better after we play them, but just looking at them on film, they're impressive.
When you said earlier that you're going to play your strengths, do you mean as a team?
Yeah, as a team.
Meaning your defense is
Yeah,
really good?
yeah, just play to our strengths. There's no doubt.
Do you modify how you do things on offense to help?
Well, I think when you play to your strengths, you got to keep everything in mind, whether it's offense, defense, special teams, and just do, everything you can as a head coach to help your team win. And so, we understand our strengths, and we understand the areas we need to improve on, and so we'll have a really good plan moving forward.
When you talk about getting that offense going, you referenced last year and finally hitting that stride this season. What happened last year that you feel like you can apply to this season?
Yeah, I think more last year it was more of just figuring out the identity and the strengths that we had and playing to those strengths. And this year, just a little bit different, maybe because of inexperience, but we still understand pretty much what we have and what we need to play to. So, like I said, I think more than anything, it's probably just the consistency manufacturing some rushing yards, and staying away from the negative plays. You know, we do know that we're not real strong when we're behind the chains. I think that's kind of a common sense thing that any average fan could see. So we got to do a better job of staying in front of the chains. You know, and so I think that'll be a good thing moving forward to do that.
Considering how inconsistent you have been on offense and the blocking, and now the injuries you have up front, how concerning is it going against Mississippi State's defensive line, those two rushes?
Yeah, I mean, we've got to do a good job with our plan and a good job with our scheme, because even if you have everybody healthy, I mean, they're one of the best defenses in the entire country, and they got a lot of confidence. They can really rush the passer. I mean, that's one thing that really stands out. They're good against the run, but they're extremely good rushing the passer. So we just need to have a good plan, you know, to help our guys out.
Has Jared gotten better just in the second half? We saw finally stepping up in the pocket a little bit, not lowering his eyes when they run out and that pressure's coming.
Yeah, I think it kind of works together. I think everything works together with quarterbacks and protections and running backs and confidence in each other, and it all works together.
When you have a young center and you've had some false start issues at home, how do you prepare him for?
Yeah, well, I think that's going to be a big key to this week. You know, how we prepare him with the noise and everything that goes with it, and the cadences, and obviously we can't go on the road and have 4 false starts. You know, and so that's unacceptable. But that was, you know, this will be his 3rd start, so I expect everything to be cleaner.
Do you have to have a way? I mean, I get y'all and just about everybody's shotgun these days does the quack thing. If the center can't hear that, how do you deal with that?
We do have ways to deal with it, but I don't want to incriminate us.
Is it a silent count? I guess that's what I'm asking.
It could be. Yeah, I don't want to tell Mississippi State what we're doing. Hey, we're going to raise our foot up, and you look between your legs and all that. I can't. I mean, we can't. I can't do that.
How did Cam Martin do after contact against Southern Miss?
I think he did a very solid job. You know, went through some holes, especially, you know, when we spread him out a little bit, and you know, a couple of those smoke draws. I thought he did a good job too, and you know, he ran with a passion, and the game was on the line, and you could really tell that he was trying to will, you know, will himself and will that offense to win. So that was real impressive.
With Jared getting chased as much as he is and getting hit as much as he is, do you worry about him just kind of getting rattled mentally about the rush?
Well, yeah, you know, and I think that kind of goes back to, you know, each game unfolds differently, and you know, we got to do a better job of not putting ourselves in those situations where, you know, we're having trouble with that kind of deal and running around and all that.
Gus, did you see Cam kind of go back a little bit to his maybe style early on of being aggressive and not so much kind of, because he talked about in the spring trying to learn from carry on and be that patient guy, and Saturday looked like he was more the first step gone.
You know, I think you're probably right about that. You know, KJ was extremely patient, one of the more patient backs we've ever had, and each back has their own style, and so, you know, he hit it. I mean, he bombed it, he hit it, went through some pretty small seams, kept his feet moving. So, you know, Cam's a very solid back, and like I said, I was very impressed with him Saturday.
At this point, where's Harold Joyner in his development? Is he just getting started? Or?
Yeah. I mean, Harold's a guy that is going to be an excellent football player if he'll keep working and all that. You know, right now he's not in the mix as far as the ever down running back deal, but he has a bright future.
Anything else?
All right, thank you all.